You've been praying for money. You've been fasting, believing, begging God for a financial breakthrough. But every time you open your banking app, the numbers haven't moved. The stress is exactly the same. Meanwhile, someone who doesn't even believe in God, someone who has never whispered a prayer in their entire life, just bought their second investment property. They are thriving. Why? Is God ignoring you? Are you being tested? Or is there something else going on here? What if I told you? God has already answered your financial prayers. He just didn't do it with a miracle. He did it with a system. There is a precise, step-by-step blueprint hidden in plain sight across ancient scripture, from the street-smart wisdom of Proverbs to the macroeconomics of Genesis, all the way to the controversial parables of Jesus. And the reason you are still stuck, the reason the bills are still piling up, you've been begging for the harvest, while completely ignoring the laws of farming. Today, we are breaking down the 9 immutable steps of this blueprint. Stay with me, because step 4 is the exact psychological trap where 90% of well-meaning people stay broke for their entire lives. Let's fix it. The 9-step system. Let's be completely honest with each other. You are not lazy. You are not faithless. You want to provide, you want to build, and you want to give back. But you might be completely misaligned. We've been conditioned to think that faith means being passive. We think waiting on the Lord means sitting on the couch waiting for a check to magically appear in the mail. But the ancient texts tell a completely different story. The Bible talks about money, stewardship, and wealth over 2,000 times. That's more than heaven and hell combined. That is not accidental. That is an instruction manual. Build skill before you chase money. The blueprint begins in Proverbs 22:29. Do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Notice the order. Before wealth comes influence, before influence comes value, and before value comes a highly developed skill. Most people chase the currency. They want the paycheck, the payout, the quick flip, but currency is just a shadow. Skill is the object casting it. If you want more currency, you have to increase your competence. The brutal truth: you don't actually need more money right now. You need something that other people are eagerly willing to pay for. Think about it this way. If your current income stream completely evaporated today, what specialized knowledge do you carry in your head that would force the market to feed you tomorrow? If the answer is nothing, then your first assignment isn't to pray for a raise, it's to build a skill. You don't build wealth by asking for it. You build it by becoming undeniable. Work without waiting, step 2, takes us to one of the smallest teachers in ancient literature. Proverbs 6:6. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. Look closely at the ant. It doesn't wait for an atmospheric shift. It doesn't wait for a motivational speech, an accountability partner, or perfect market conditions. It just moves. What if your financial breakthrough isn't actually being delayed by God? What if you are the one delaying it because you're waiting for the perfect emotional feeling to start? We live in a culture addicted to inspiration. We wait for the right mood, the right season, the right alignment of stars. But ancient wisdom says that faith without works isn't just weak, it's dead. It's a corpse. You cannot steer a parked car, and God cannot bless an action you haven't taken. Stop waiting for clarity before you move. Start moving to get clarity. Plan. Before you spend in the book of Luke, Jesus poses a highly practical, almost clinical question to his listeners. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? That's not a mystical, theological concept. That is fundamental project management. That is budgeting. That is radical discipline. God is not a celestial cosmic cleanup crew for your poor spending habits. He gave you a brain and access to wisdom. He expects you to use them. Most people don't have an earning problem, they have a leaking problem. If you cannot account for where every single dollar goes the moment it enters your custody, you do not control your money. And if you do not control it, it will eventually control you. You cannot expect to be trusted with an empire if you are mismanaging the village you currently oversee. Destroy debt, the ultimate trap. Now we come to step 4. This is where the trap snaps shut on millions of people. Proverbs 20:7 drops a hammer. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is the slave to the lender. The scripture doesn't say the borrower is stressed. It doesn't say the borrower is busy, or stretched thin, or struggling. It uses the most restrictive word possible: slave. Every single credit card balance you carry, every car payment you stretch yourself to meet, every buy now, pay later click you make is a contract signed in invisible ink. You are trading your future freedom for a temporary 5-minute hit of dopamine today. Look at your monthly bills. You aren't building your own wealth with that money. You are actively funding the wealth of bank executives and credit card algorithms. You are working 40 hours a week to build someone else's kingdom while your own walls crumble. Until you break those chains and declare war on debt, your income belongs to the past, not your future. Build slow but consistent. Proverbs 13:11 provides a fascinating contrast in how wealth reacts to time. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. This single verse completely demolishes the modern obsession with the overnight success. Do you want to know the real reason why most people stay broke? It's because they are profoundly addicted to fast money. They want the meme coin that goes to the moon, the lottery ticket, the sketchy online course that promises $10,000 in 7 days. But true, generational wealth is inherently boring. It is built slowly, piece by piece, brick by brick. Fast wealth ruins people because their character doesn't have the time to expand, to hold the weight of the money. Slow wealth, however, builds the person while it builds the portfolio. Don't depend on one income. Let's go to the wisdom of Ecclesiastes 11:2. It reads like a modern asset allocation guide. Give a portion to 7 or even to 8, for you know not what disaster may happen on earth. In modern terms, diversify. Relying on a single source of income like a single 9-to-5 job is one of the highest risk strategies you can deploy. If that single company downsizes, if an AI tool automates your department, or if a management changes, your entire financial ecosystem collapses overnight. Your job is a tool to fund your system, but your job should never be your entire system. True stability means that if one faucet is abruptly turned off, you have 3 or 4 other lines running in the background to keep you alive and moving forward. Control yourself or lose everything. Proverbs 25:28 paints a vivid picture of a vulnerable life. A man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. In ancient times, a city without walls was a tragedy waiting to happen. Anyone could walk in at midnight and steal the gold, the cattle, and the crops. This is the hidden reason behind lifestyle inflation. When your income goes up, do your expenses automatically climb up to meet it? If you make $50,000, you spend $50,000. If you make $100,000, suddenly you need a better car, a bigger apartment, and more expensive dinners. It is a profound mathematical truth. It does not matter how much money you earn if your self-control leaks it out just as fast. True financial power isn't measured by what you show off. It is measured by what you keep, protect, and deploy. Your circle is your financial future. Proverbs 13:20 details the psychological law of proximity. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. Your brain is wired to mirror the habits, the vocabulary, and the expectations of your immediate social circle. If your closest friends spend every weekend complaining about the economy, racking up credit card debt on designer clothes, and waiting for someone else to save them, you will subconsciously adopt that exact same mindset. You cannot live an extraordinary financial life if you are constantly surrounding yourself with ordinary financial habits. Choose your inner circle like your future depends on it, because it does. Build with integrity, or lose it all. The final step of the blueprint brings us back to the foundation of everything. Proverbs 20:21. An inheritance gained hastily at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. And Proverbs 10:2 adds, treasures gained by wickedness do not profit, but righteousness delivers from death. Shortcuts are an illusion. Cutting corners, deceptive marketing, compromising your morals for a quick paycheck. It all carries a hidden high interest rate that must eventually be paid. Money magnifies who you already are. If you build an empire on a foundation of compromise, deceit, or greed, the weight of that money will eventually crush you from the inside out. True biblical wealth isn't just about accumulating commas in a bank account. It's about maintaining the character required to use that wealth as a tool for good. Look back at the entire pattern. Build a skill. Work without waiting. Plan your spending. Kill your debt. Pace your growth. Diversify your streams. Guard your boundaries. Elevate your circle. Maintain your soul. This isn't a collection of random, disjointed advice. This is a comprehensive, cyclical ecosystem designed to create sustainable, multi-generational abundance. Here is the ultimate truth that ties everything together. God did not hide wealth from you. Deuteronomy 8:18 says he gives you the power to get wealth. He doesn't drop bags of cash from the sky. He gives you the mind to think, the body to move, the time to invest, and the instructions to follow. But that power means absolutely nothing if you refuse to open the manual and execute the work. The miracle isn't coming to bail you out of your lack of discipline. The system is the miracle. So as we close this video, the real question you need to ask yourself tonight is not, why am I still struggling? The real question is this: which of these 9 steps am I actively avoiding? Is it the discipline of step 3? Is it the heavy debt of step 4? Is it the patience of step 5? Identify your broken link, fix the system. Because until you change your alignment, nothing changes your reality. And if you think this blueprint is just about making money, then you are completely unprepared for what happens to your life when you actually start executing it.